So I asked a bunch of people, when you lose weight, burn fat, where does it go?
Well,
down the toilet.
Into the air when you sweat it out or breathe it out? I don't lose weight. when I gain weight, though. It goes right
there. Coach Greg, and have you ever wondered what happens to the fat when you lose it? I know you're probably thinking you found it, but let's really think about this. Where does the fat go when you lose it? When you go on a diet from being in a calorie deficit, what actually happens to the fat when you lose it? Well, I wanted to see what the people think, so I asked a bunch of people coming to my birthday party. Said, when you lose weight, burn fat, where does it go? And here's what they said.
Maybe pee out?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if it comes out like that.
You go through the sink, you pee all the fat into excess.
I pee it all out.
Down the toilet.
Into the air when you sweat it out or breathe it out?
Right.
You pee it out.
I'm gonna say the shitter.
The pooping it out.
Yeah.
So where exactly does it go? Is it hiding somewhere? Do you poop it out? Do you sweat it out? Did it disappear into the universe? Did it magically go poof? Did you perhaps pee it out, poop it out, sweat it out? Did it melt somehow? And did you sweat it out of your pores? Where did it go? So body fat, adipose tissue, is composed of molecules. These molecules, they can't just disappear. It's the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You can't just have something and it magically disappear. To imagination land, it doesn't work like that, at least here on Earth. And so if you have fat on your body, it has to go somewhere else. And so to lose body fat, you must be in a calorie deficit. If you are in a calorie deficit, you are going to lose weight, hopefully a lot of body fat. And to burn this fat, you can do so by either eating less calories or moving more, burning more of it off, or of course a combination of both. And so the answer is you excrete it as carbon dioxide and water primarily through breathing. Within your breath, there's actually stuff there. When you breathe out carbon dioxide. You breathe in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide.
Into the air when you sweat it out or breathe it out?
Winner!
And so it's approximately 84% carbon dioxide, CO2, and 16% water, or H2O. And so the answer to the question is, you breathe it out as carbon dioxide and excrete it as water, whether through your breath, pee, poop, sweat, or perhaps crying your eyes out from doing all that cardio. Hopefully not, because cardio should be fun. And so when you lose weight, you don't actually technically lose it. You excrete it as carbon dioxide and water as you breathe in and out. And so you're probably thinking, well, that's amazing. Why don't we just breathe more? We could breathe more and breathe out more calories. Well, hyperventilation isn't going to work because you need the fat to produce the carbon dioxide and water. So think about this. When you're laying back on the couch or in bed, relaxing, not doing very much, how hard are you breathing? In comparison, after you run up a flight of steps or when you're doing cardio, notice how you're breathing harder. As you're breathing harder, your body is fighting to get rid of that carbon dioxide, which is poison to the body when it's too high. So you breathe out to get rid of it. It doesn't want it. And as you're breathing out, you're getting rid of more body fat. That body fat that's stored on your body, as you're sprinting, running, doing cardio, you're burning it off. And you're burning it off and it's being excreted as carbon dioxide and water. That is literally exactly what is happening. And so the reason we breathe harder when we're exercising is twofold. One, we need more oxygen. Oxygen helps to break down this fat. You need the oxygen. Think of it. If you couldn't breathe harder and you tried to run a marathon, it wouldn't work out. You wouldn't have the energy to do so. You'd probably pass out. So, little story for you. When I was in exercise physiology, I was doing an experiment to track lactate threshold, blood pressure, heart rate, and so on, how much you breathe during exercise. So they put me on a bike, put it on a machine on my face, and it took into account how much oxygen am I breathing in and how much carbon dioxide am I breathing out. We're trying to determine where my anaerobic threshold is. The measure between my heart rate and when I started breathing like crazy, panting, and so that we could track it. There's a linear relationship, then suddenly it goes crazy. You're exercising harder, faster, it goes up, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, goes through the roof. And that is where your anaerobic threshold is, the point at which you just can't sustain the energy anymore the way you're supposed to. So, for example, maybe it's at 170 beats a minute, and then you go nuts. They put the valve in backwards, which restricted oxygen flow to my body. So as it got harder, I didn't get any more oxygen. I was riding and going harder, but I couldn't get in any more oxygen. So by accident, it literally became hypoxic. An exercise determining my exercise capacity with a hypoxic state. And that could be completely pronounced wrong. So the observers doing the testing were like, well, this guy's a machine. He doesn't need any more oxygen. He's pedaling faster. He's not even changing his breathing rate. He's only breathing in 12, 13 times a minute. This is easy for him. And I'm looking up and I'm hearing all this and I'm like shaking my head and I'm like, I'm dying. Why? Because I wasn't giving it enough oxygen. It was as if I was exercising 10,000 meters above sea level. No oxygen, thin air. I couldn't get in the oxygen needed to push the pedals the way I wanted to. And so when you increase cardiovascular output, when you burn more calories, put out more watts, you need more oxygen to burn up this fat. And you also need to breathe harder to get rid of the carbon dioxide. Hence, when you're tired, if you watch me doing HIIT cardio or a bike race, you will see me doing that. I am trying to breathe in and out as fast as I can to take in the oxygen, to fuel the muscles, and to get rid of the carbon dioxide, get rid of the lactic acid. And so you're all wearing your Fitbits and your watch trackers and you're counting your steps and you're trying to estimate how many calories you're burning. But imagine if you could have a mask and measure the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen that you're using. That would actually tell you how many calories you're burning. Problem is, how many people want to walk around with a bubble boy outfit over their face? Not only would that be extremely expensive, it would probably be uncomfortable walking around looking like an astronaut, measuring how much oxygen and carbon dioxide you're using. So we wear watches, we try to track our heart rate, we wear Fitbit things to track our steps, and we get an estimate. Problem is, it's an estimate. You can't actually determine how many calories you're burning or how many calories you're eating. It's all a guess. But what is not a guess is if you burn 10 pounds of fat, you have to have excreted a specific amount of carbon dioxide and water. You can't break the laws of thermodynamics. You cannot do it. To burn off this fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. And how you do it? Well, that choice is yours. So many different ways, but if you lose weight, you're in a calorie deficit. You gained weight, you didn't put the fork down and you ate too much. And if you want to lose weight, I highly suggest you get my cookbook, Low Calorie Delicious Recipes to help you keep full, keep your cravings at bay. Won't feel like a diet, it's a forever diet, the circle diet. All the foods you want to eat, lower the calories, bring them into the circle. If it doesn't taste good, make them taste better. Bring it into the circle. It's a diet that you can sustain for the rest of your life. And where does the fat go? Well, now you know it goes out as carbon dioxide and water. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Watch the Bloop. Don't forget, Harder Than Last Time supplements. Click the link in the description. Also, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe. Click the bell button. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, subscribe. Click the bell button. Do it now. I'm out.